So today we'll do exercise 7.2 question number 2 and let us see what is given in the question. There are 2 points which are given in the question and we have to find the point of trisection. If I join these 2 points, let us give the name to the points A, B, and if I join them, let's say this is the point A and this is point B, then we have to find the 2 more points which trisect this line AB in 3 equal parts means trisect. So let us take that point as C and D. So we have to write it first. Let C, point C and D trisect AB. And what we have to do? We have to find out the points C and D. Only points A and B are given to us. Nothing else we are provided with. So what to do now? We don't have any ratio and we have to find out the coordinate. And whenever we have to find out the coordinate, most of the time we'll have to apply section formula. But for applying section formula, we should have the ratio. And we don't know the ratio here. So you just have to apply your mind and have to form the ratio by yourself. Okay. Here, because these 3 parts are equal, for the time being, I'm just explaining you how you have to take the ratio. Suppose this is x, x and x. All 3 parts are equal. AC equal to CD equal to DB. This is according to the question. And if I'm taking all 3 parts as x, then let us find the ratio AC by CB. AC is x, right? And BC is CD plus DB. CD is equal to x, DB is equal to x. So BC should be x plus x, that is 2x, and we'll cancel out and we'll get the ratio as 1:2. That means if I just, for convenience, if I have just rubbed this point D, so the point C divides AB in the ratio 1:2. Because we have to find out one by one the points, so I have just removed it for your convenience. Otherwise you have to take it side by side. So we have now the ratio of AC is to BC. We know the points A and B. Now you have to apply the section formula. The ratio means M1, M2 is 1:2, M1 is 1, M2 is 2, X1 is 4, Y1 is -1, X2 is -2, Y2 is -3. So I will write it here, X1, Y1, X2, Y2, and this is M1 and M2. If these are the values, okay? So I'm saying that I have written this just for your sake so that you can get the formula easily. You can apply the values in the formula easily. Now we'll have to find out the value of C by using section formula. So I'm writing here the section formula. What is this section formula? The section formula is, or according to section formula, we have the coordinates of point C as, section formula says that if the ratio is M1:2 and 2 and the coordinates are x1, y1, x2, y2, then the point C must be equal to M1x2 plus M2 x1 upon M1 plus M2. In the same way, we can get the values for y, that is M1 y2, M2 y1, M1 plus M2. Okay, so coordinates of point C are, now you can easily find out the coordinate of C, M2 x1, M1 x2, right? So let us start with here. m1 into x2, that means 1 into minus 2 plus 2 into 4 upon m1 plus m2 means 1 plus 2. Okay, I hope you are getting it. Again, see this for the value of y. So it will be, this is m1, this is y2, m1 into y2, that means m1 into y2, that means minus 3 plus m2 into y1, that means minus 2 upon m1 plus m2, that is 1 plus 2 again. So this will be equal to minus 2 plus 8 upon 3, and this is minus 5 upon 3. Let us solve a little and we'll get the value of point C. Coordinates will be, C will be 6 by 3 and minus 5 by 3, and we know that this will cancel out. So the answer for the point C is 2 minus 5 by 3. So these are the coordinates for point C. So we have already find out the value of C. Now we'll have to apply, we have to find the value of point D, which I rubbed earlier. So I'm writing it again. I'm rubbing this x1, y1 because we have already found this value of C. So I'm writing here the point C. This is point A, this is point B, this is point C, and C is now 2 minus 5 by 3. And this is point D. Now we have to find out this point D. There are two ways. I'm explaining the one way in properly, the whole, in a whole way, in a whole manner, but the second way I just explain you in the, means verbally I will explain you, but the other method I will do properly. Okay, so first of all you can apply here in the same way. As we had the ratio AC is to BC as 1 is to 2, in the same way, if for the some time if you forget this point C, you have the ratio of AD and BD as 2 is to 1, and if you have the ratio as 2 is to 1, you know the points, so you can apply the section formula and can get easily the value of D, right? But I want to explain you one more thing here. If we have the formula, section formula as m1 x2, m2 x1 upon m1 plus m2. Okay, you agree this is the formula? You should agree this, that this is the formula for the coordinate x, and this is called as section formula. This is the formula when the ratio is m1 is to m2, right? But if this ratio is 1 is to 1, what is the meaning of the ratio 1 is to 1? That means these two must be equal. That means AC equal to BC. And if it is AC, if AC and BC are equal, we can say that C is the midpoint of line AB. Because C is the midpoint of AB, that is why AC equal to BC. That is why the ratio is 1 is to 1. And if we have the ratio as 1 is to 1, that means the value of M1 is 1, the value of M2 is 1. And if I'm putting these values of M1 and M2 here in this section formula, let us see what we get. 1 into x2, that means x2. 1 into x1, that means x1. 1 plus 1, that means by 2. So this is a special case for the section formula whenever the ratio is 1 is to 1. Or you can say whenever the point is the midpoint, you can apply this formula. You need not to apply the whole thing M1 and M2, because after at the last the formula will be converted into this form. So you can apply it directly, and this is known as midpoint formula also. So this is the value of x, and in the same way If you will apply this for y, you'll get the value as y1 plus y2 by 2. So please remind us for doing the question ahead that this is the midpoint formula, and from where we get it? We get it from the section formula, and when we have this formula, whenever the point which divides the line in the ratio 1:1. So why I explained all this to you? Because for getting the value of D, I told you earlier that either you can apply the ratio 2:1 and you can apply the section formula, but you can apply here the midpoint formula also. How? Because we know that DC is equal to DB, and if DC is equal to DB, what it means? It means that D is the midpoint of BD. Because CD is equal to DB, this implies D is the midpoint of BC. And if D is the midpoint of BC, so by midpoint formula, coordinates of D are, coordinates of D are, because I will write it again here, x1 plus x2 by 2, y1 plus y2 by 2. So this is the formula. So apply this formula for getting the value of D. So D will be, if this is x1, this is x2, y1, y2 for present condition. Sorry. Just spread on my finger. So 2 plus minus 2. 2 plus minus 2 by 2. x1 plus x2 by 2. And similarly y1 plus y2 and by 2. By 2 I can write it as here 1 by 2. So this value will give us the coordinate for point D. Let us solve it. After solving, what we get? Minus 2 plus 2 by 2, that means 0 by 2, and 0 by 2 is again 0. We'll write it in the next step. Here we can take LCM. 3 minus 5 minus 9 and is 1 by 2. So the coordinates of D will be 0. Minus 5 minus 9 is minus 14 by 3 into 2. You can cut this. And finally, you'll have the coordinate of D as D is 0 and minus 7 by 3. So these are the, this is the coordinate, these are the coordinates for the point D. So we have found out that the value of C earlier. Now this is the value of D. So in this way we can solve this question. I hope the question is clear to you all. So thank you.